For a variation on a great chicken recipe, we're going to be making zucchini stuffed chicken. I've got some zucchinis, which we already, thankfully, pre-grated. We've got our pan that we've made nice and hot. I'm going to add in just a little bit of olive oil. My favourite sound in cooking is that sizzle. So I'm just going to take a couple of spoonfuls of this shredded zucchini. I've actually left the skin on. If the skin isn't on, it kind of can get a little bit mushy. It kind of like holds the zucchini together. I used about 2 medium zucchinis, and I do have a lot left over. If you do have any leftover shredded zucchini, you can just, if you haven't touched it with a raw chicken, or if you have, you can just saute it up a little bit more and use it as a great side dish. Okay, so we just want this to cook up. Want to make sure it's not on too high. Just mixing it around. Okay, I want to season it, of course. Got some kosher salt, and we've got some fresh ground black pepper. Feel that steam rising. Very nice. Might lower that heat just a drop more because the zucchini does have a lot of its own natural water, which is going to evaporate as it cooks down. You might even want to add in, if you see that it's shriveling up a lot because, you know, the water is evaporating, you can just add a little bit more zucchini because you don't want to make the whole zucchini recipe and find out that you're one piece short. Okay. Now we're going to add in a couple of shakes of breadcrumbs. Sometimes you have to eyeball how much you need, depending on how much zucchinis you've got added in. I'm actually going to turn it off. Now we've got that off. We just need it to cool for a few minutes because we're going to stuff it in and we don't want to burn our hands. So we're going to let that sit for a minute, just over here away from the heat. And then we're going to just prepare our chicken and get our chicken ready. So we've got 4 pieces of chicken. We chose 2 tops and 2 bottoms, washed it up, picked up all the feathers and the extra fat that we don't need. And I like to cook things in a Pyrex dish. Cooking in glass is a little bit on the healthier side. Sometimes you might want to, if you are using a foil pan, line it with a little bit of parchment paper. But we're not going to need parchment paper because I'm using glass. I kind of always feel it's a bit more sterile. Okay, so we're going to take our pieces of chicken. I'm going to put them in our pan. Now we're going to add our zucchini inside. We're going to stuff it underneath the skin. It naturally lifts up, and if it's still got a little bit of skin sticking, you can just gently tug it with your fingers and it comes off very nicely. I'm just going to take a tablespoon. You can use your hands if it's cool, but I see this is a little hot, so I'm using just using a teaspoon actually over here. And I'm stuffing a decent amount inside. If you wanted to, you could also add in some shredded carrots, but I find that zucchini works really beautifully. And now it like pops up, looks nice and puffy. Now we'll do our next bottom. Sticking that right underneath the skin. We want it to be really, really stuffed with zucchini. This is a great recipe because in a minute you're going to see that I'm going to drizzle it with honey, and that gives it a really, really nice glow. I like when the chicken looks nice and brown. I think it's very, very appetizing. People can't wait to bite into a piece of like really golden brown chicken. Okay, now see here it's sticking a little bit more, so just with my fingers, I'm just separating the skin from the chicken. Now I have nice space cavity to stuff it. A little bit more. Fantastic. And sometimes it does burst open a little bit, which is absolutely fine. We'll have a look when it's done. Lovely. And look, we made just enough zucchini for 4 pieces. Lovely. Absolutely lovely. Just grab some of the extras, put that aside. Now we're going to add our little bit more salt. A little bit more black pepper. Then we're going to drizzle our honey. Ah, gorgeous. And this really, really makes it a rich looking chicken. Just want to have it lots and lots of honey, especially, you know, when holidays, during some of the Jewish holidays, Rosh Hashanah, we use lots of recipes with honey. So this is another one you can add to your repertoire. Used for all the different Jewish holidays and on for Shabbat and Friday night. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to pop this chicken in the oven. Our oven is on 350 degrees. And when it comes out of the oven, it's going to look like this. Okay, so now we're just going to plate it up. We have beautiful pieces. Look at the dark colour that we have here. And that you have the zucchini overflowing, so it looks nice and luscious. Okay, that's one piece. Put the two bottoms on one side. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Now we have to put our... And if you want, while it's in the oven, you can baste it a little bit. And then you can pour some of the sauce onto the chicken. We have a beautiful, beautiful chicken recipe.